quarterback are you preparing for this week?
All three. All three. There's a body of work on all three, and we'll need to be prepared for all three.
What are the challenges of preparing for three quarterbacks, and have you guys done anything close to that in your time here before?
Not that I can think of. Malik's skill set is different. He's an outstanding athlete, super productive player in college. So that's where things change, is when he's in the game, just because of what he can do athletically. But things are more similar when Mac and Bailey are the quarterbacks. So we've played against Mac. Mac's got a lot of experience, and Bailey's played in a lot of games too. So there's a body of work to go on, and Bill O'Brien's a really good offensive coach.
Does the structure of the preparation change when there's the possibility of multiple quarterbacks playing?
Yeah.
Like they've done in past games?
Yeah, just got to structure practice so that hey, when it's more those two, that's kind of how they're playing, versus hey, if Malik comes in, there's just more variety with the quarterback, running the football and be a part of the designed run game, and not to mention the loose play element, which is one of his strengths.
Does this game have added emphasis at all because of where the team is at later half the season?
No, just in the NFL every week, you got to have your full attention on your opponent, because anything can happen, and they've got a lot of good players on their football team, and they're extremely well coached. So we just have to have a really good week of practice and be prepared for a tough game. They've been in a lot of tough games, and they've got good players.
I know you said on Monday no update on Josh Palmer, but is it possible that he will return this season? Is that still on the table for you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just with Isaiah Spiller, where is he at? Obviously been inactive for a number of games. He was sick for one of them. Where is he at in his development, and why is he not up on game days?
Yeah, good question. He's got to earn his way on the team through the practice field, and I think that's the quickest answer. Just got to do more on the practice field, both as a runner and on teams, to make it on the 48.
And just in terms of his development, what you guys expected out of him when you drafted him, where is he now compared to what you thought he maybe could be in year two?
Yeah, I mean, he's improved. He's improved as a player. It just hasn't been enough improvement to get him up on game day. But he just needs to keep making progress. And as I've mentioned, sometimes with players, it happens at different stages. He's just got to stay after it, keep working at his game, and good things will follow.
Keenan's leading the league in catches. Is that surprising?
No.
Is that a byproduct of not having Mike and Josh here for the last bit?
A little bit. I mean, I think that he would be. I mean, even with Mike and Josh, he was still, one of the league leaders in catches, over the last 5 or 6 years. So, he's just one of the top players in the league. And, he's a guy that you feel good about targeting, any place on the field, any down and distance. And, he's one of those rare players that can get the ball when everyone knows, everyone's trying to engineer their coverages to stop him. He's just been one of those guys that he can still catch the football at a high level, even though all the coverages are engineered for him. So we're lucky to have him. He's having a historic year for him, and it just says so much about his longevity, his consistency, and, can't say enough about him.
Do you have to, knowing that the other guys know him and they're working to stop him, do you have to tinker and move him around, or is he good enough and experienced enough to kind of do those things on his own?
Yeah, I mean, that becomes the challenge. It's just trying to get him to places where he can get more isolation opportunities, or, hey, you can predict, how they're going to double him, so that maybe you can engineer something for somebody else where they get a big play op. So you're always mindful of that, and we're a better team when he touches the ball. So we're always going to try and get him the ball, and he's having a heck of a season, and just showing a lot of toughness, showing a lot of leadership, and to still be playing at this level just says everything you need to know about him.
What's it like, Brennan, for you to see another head coach, particularly one like Belichick with his history and accolades, maybe the greatest ever, to go through a struggling season like he is?
Just football's a tough game. The NFL is a really tough league, and you go through, you can have tough seasons, and this probably isn't Bill's first tough season. He's been in the NFL his whole life, so he's seen it all, but I mean, he's definitely the standard in the coaching profession, certainly in the National Football League, and he's somebody that I've studied a lot, learned a lot from. I've never worked with him, but he's just been one of those guys that has been the best at his, in our profession for, a long time. And you just respect the longevity, and you respect the body of work, and going through so many different eras of players and so many different styles of play of football, to be able to stand the test of time and to be, to have his type of resume, it really does. It speaks for itself, and, nothing but full respect for him.
Still the thrill to go against him?
Yeah, always. You always want to measure yourself up against the best, and I can remember when, I kind of got my first opportunity to coach against Tom Brady when I was with the Rams, and when you're going against one of the greatest to ever do it, that's why you do it, is to try to compete against the best. So, we played against, Bill in 2021, and now we get another chance at it. So, like I said, nothing but full respect for him.
After the personnel changes in the secondary on Sunday, the rest of the guys, like Mike, John, Dean, Marlowe, what has their response been like this week after those changes, and also like considering how well you guys played?
Yeah, really good. I mean, pros, and I thought they played well on special teams in the game. I thought in the Baltimore game, all three of those guys were impactful on special teams, and that was their role in the game. And so, like I said, we're going to continue to make it competitive on the practice field to earn their way to, playing on defense. But special teams, those guys, if they're not starting on defense, they'll be starting on special teams. And, all those guys did a really good job in the game. And Baltimore's got really good special teams. So for us to play well in that phase, I thought, that was a real positive for us.
Talking about ball security drills, how much of an emphasis is that?
Oh, Eric, always. The number one thing in your program, is the ball. So, these last 3 games, we've lost. We've been on the downside of the takeaway margin, and up until a couple weeks ago, we were number 1 in the NFL in fewest amount of giveaways. So it's always on our mind. Starting all of our meetings, whether it's a big team meeting, position meetings, unit meetings. There's nothing more important than that. You got to keep the main thing in the NFL, and we got to continue to do a good job with that.
How do you defensively build off of what you did on Sunday? Because I assume you were more pleased with what you saw on Sunday.
Yeah, Jeff, the energy and the communication I thought was consistent through 4 quarters. I really thought we met their level and played at a high level, and I thought our physicality and toughness was as good as it's been, and and then I thought that our execution was as good as it's been, and we executed for 4 quarters, and so that's what we have to build on. Our guys are playing hard. They've played hard the whole season, but our execution is what gave us the chance to win that football game, and how we played in the critical situations in the game. It gave us a chance, and so I think the execution part is where we're going to continue our focus, and that's what we need to build off of.
You mentioned the takeaways. I think you've gone 3 in a row without one. Well, how does that happen, or why would that happen?
It's just it can be you can have stretches like that. It doesn't mean that what we try to measure is our attempts. Hey, what does our shots on the ball look like? What are when they're throwing the football? Hey, like Khalil, you saw he got a football out. Hey, when we were sacking the quarterback, are we after that football? So we're always talking about what were your attempts like, and so. That's because that's what we can control. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, but I like the way that our mindset is. I like the way that our behavior is out there on the field. Now we just got to put it, we got to put it out there on tape, and and again, takeaway margin is a team stat. It's a team stat because it's about giveaways and takeaways. For us to go 3 straight, though, that's a big emphasis for us. And the more times you get a chance to rush the passer and make it a passing game, that's when the takeaways happen, is in the passing game more often than not, so that's what we're after.